Hi guys, welcome back to my channel for another video. Today we're going to be talking all about how to make your school choice, and I'm going to be telling you guys where I'm going to school. I've been promising that for a really long time, and I realized this past week that I never told you guys. I think I let it slip on my Instagram, but for those of you who don't follow me, stay tuned to find out where I'm going in just a few short weeks. All right, so let's get into it. I have broken down the criteria that I use to choose my school into 5 sections. So I'm going to be running through those. And I just want to preface this video by saying that this is what I thought about when choosing my school, and this is what I felt was most important for me. I know that it differs for everybody, but yeah, just keep in mind this is what I took into account. It doesn't necessarily mean that that's all you have to think about. I'm sure that there are thousands of things that we all think about when choosing a school, whether it be graduate school or undergraduate school. So with that being said, number 1 is price, scholarships, and financial aid. So it's no secret that law school is expensive, honey, okay? I really had to think hard about the cost of the school that I was going to. I also looked into the scholarship opportunities and if they had work study programs and things of that nature. To be quite honest with you, my ethos kind of has always been, it's not about where you go, but what you do at that institution when you get there. And I know that that is not, a lot of people feel very strongly that if you go to the right school, it opens doors, and that may be very well true, especially considering the Ivies, but it's just not something that I agree with. I have always gone to regular schools and I've excelled, and for me, anytime I go on an interview or people see it on my resume and see my transcripts or my grades and the activities that I was involved in, that kind of tells them who I am as a person, as a student, and I feel like I could do that anywhere. It doesn't have to be an Ivy. So, and I wasn't gonna pay that Ivy money, honey. It was a thought of mine for a second, but then I was like, is it really worth it just for the name? Like, is it really worth it? Am I gonna graduate and look at all of my student loans and be like, yep, I don't regret it? Or am I gonna be like, why? That is criteria number 1, price, scholarships, and financial aid. Please, please, please do your research on the financial aid that the institutions offer, the different scholarships that they might offer you, the scholarships that they automatically consider you for when you submit an application are not necessarily the same ones that they have listed on their website that you have to do additional essays for and things of that nature. So make sure that you go to the tuition and fees tab of the schools that you're applying to so that you can see the full list of scholarships that they have to offer and what the application requirements and deadlines are for those, and things that are free money, right? That is the key. You want to go with free money first, and then once you exhaust your free money and your savings, then you want to go to federal loans. And number 2 is location. All right, location, my friends. Location is important for a lot of reasons, and especially in law school. Now, aside from the personal stuff of like where you want to live, do you want to be close to your family? Do you not want to be close to your family? Is the cost of living expensive? Things like that. You also have to think ahead when you're in law school about the location, right? Because you have to think about the job market and where you want to take the bar exam. I think there's this misconception that wherever you go to school is where you have to take the bar exam, and that's not the case. There are plenty of people who go to school in New York or in whatever state they want and then go back home to their home state and take the bar exam there. I know a lot of people who have done that, and the only, I guess, hiccup with that is that when you're studying, let's say for example in New York, right, the curriculum that you're learning is going to be somewhat based on that state's law, right? And any experience that you have in that state, whether it be a summer associate program or an internship or whatever, you're going to be dealing with that state's laws and learning that state's laws. So if you choose after graduation to not take that state's bar exam and go back to your home state and take that bar exam, the bar course that you choose to study from, whether it be Barbary or any of the other ones, you would have to choose that home state versus the state that you studied in, right? And it might be harder. I mean, I don't know. I'm not there yet. But like I said, I've had friends who have done it, and they say it's a little bit harder just because your education was based on a different state. So it makes it a little bit harder, but it's doable. You can also take the bar exam in multiple states. I personally have thought about studying here in New York. I'm going to study here in New York, but I was also raised in Florida. I lived there for 15 years of my young life. And I really miss it sometimes. I still have a lot of family down there. And job market is really, really important. So, for example, me, if I know that I want to study in New York and I want to stay in New York after I graduate, it's a pretty competitive job market here in New York. So you want to take into account the competitiveness of the job market, what types of firms and organizations go to your school for on-campus interviews, what are the different sectors of law in the state that you're in or in the city that you're in. And I would also say job placement after graduation, right? That also goes into job market. Like, what is the job placement rate for the institution that you want to go to? Is it 80% or higher? Is it lower? And then what kind of industries are the jobs in? The way that you can find that information out is by going to, I think every ABA accredited law school has to report those statistics to the bar, but they also publish it on their website. And that's actually really handy because you can see the different sectors that people go into after graduation, the bar passage rate, all of those things. And those things are really important. And of course, you do always have to ask yourself the more personal stuff of, do I want to be close to my family? Do I want to be close to friends and a support system, right? Because we all know that law school is really, really freaking hard. And you don't want to make it harder for yourself by moving across the country, knowing that you're the type of person who really thrives when you have your support system around you. For me, I knew from the jump I cannot move far away from home because although, I have my tiffs with my parents and whatever, they're the best roommates. And when I need that extra support, love, and care, like I lean on my mom, my dad, my sister. So I knew that I needed to have that around me, and moving away was really not an option for me. Moving right along to number 3. That's 6. 3. Curriculum. I'm about to say the word curriculum a lot, so just bear with me. But this is so freaking important, okay? Honestly, I feel like I should have made that number 1, but that's okay. I really feel like not a lot of people talk about curriculum when they're talking about their school choice. And the reason I think it's important is because while every law school has to teach you foundational courses, right? Essentially, all law students learn the same concepts and foundational things about the legal world, academia, right? But not every institution builds their curriculum the same way. They might focus on different skill sets or emphasize different skills over others, right? So to give you an example, the school I'm going to is super focused on practical lawyering skills. And I really appreciate that because I've always said that I want to be the kind of lawyer that is ready for today's issues, right? Like I just want to have good foundational skills as a lawyer and an attorney. And that is a good segue into number 4, which is specialty. I didn't really know how to name this bullet point, so we're just going to call it specialty. But as I've been saying, every school is known for something. So it's hard to know what kind of lawyer you want to be, but just ask yourself what you're interested in, what has always called your attention about the legal world and legal academia, and try and make a list of the things that you might be interested in. Research all the different schools that you have on your list and see which ones, specialize in those areas. If there's schools on your list that don't really offer anything in your interest areas, then I would say maybe make that a lower priority school on your application list, and help make that kind of like your guiding principle, and organize your application list by the ones that have, those specialty programs that you're interested in, and then maybe the ones that have less of those programs than maybe the ones who don't. And you can prioritize your application list in that way, and it's a little bit less overwhelming. All right, so for the last bullet point, number 5, we are going to talk about student life and campus life and things of that nature. This, for me, was important. It wasn't like the top criteria that I thought about. I am not someone who thrives in cutthroat competitive environments. Am I competitive to a certain degree? Yes. Do I always want to excel in my studies? Absolutely. But not at the expense of my mental health and well-being. I really, I've worked hard in my adult life to find healthy balance. As a young adult in college, I struggled a lot with academic success and juggling a lot of things, and just being, just having really controlling tendencies and being really stressed out all the time, and it wasn't healthy. And I want to look for an institution, and I want to go to an institution that has resources available for me as a student if I ever find myself struggling or just not excelling and not being happy and healthy. Also, what kind of organizations do they have on campus? Do they have groups that you are interested in joining? Are you going to be able to find your people on campus, right? Do they talk about mental health openly? Is there even a conversation? Is it recognized on their, campus and on their website? With all of that said, we have now come to the best part of the video, and I'm going to tell you guys where I'm going starting August 17th. And I'm so excited. This fall, I will be going to the City University of New York Law School, and it is the top public interest law school in the country. As I've told you guys already, I have received all of my email accounts, my student accounts. I'm just waiting to be enrolled in classes. And I know a few people that are going there. I'm actually going, I'm starting with one of my coworkers that I met at my job. I'm just so excited. I'm so nervous, excited, all of the feels. And I cannot wait to start and also make videos for you guys and take you guys on this journey. This is crazy. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe. And I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.